Hello again everyone to another edition of First Job, Worst Job. This second episode features Sarah, one of our law teachers here. So without further ado, here's Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and my first job was at a high street jeweller's when I was about 17. This is the actual outfit that I wore on my first day. I still have it, slightly ripped. It was a fantastic job, it really was. I was there for 3 Christmases, which in the retail world is the real acid test. I remember the first day was really challenging because I had to work between 8:30 and 5:30. And I had never done that before. And I remember at about 5 o'clock sitting down on the chair in the shop, which was not allowed. But I was absolutely exhausted. It was a fantastic experience being there. As I went further through, I actually was asked to work at another shop in Chamberlain. Chamberlain people are amazing. And it was a really good opportunity to see the difference between what I was used to, which was working with people who were the same age as me, with the same level of education, and working with much older people with very different backgrounds. I got pretty good in the end. I was not bad, and I was actually offered a place on the management scheme in the end, and it was a really difficult decision to say no to it, and I think life would have been very different. So my first job was pretty good, and the highlight, having earned £99 a month, which was so much money. One afternoon I went off on my lunch break and I bought my first car, which was very exciting. So it was a really good experience and I look back on it really fondly. So there's a bit of a theme here. This is the outfit that I wore on the first day of my worst job. It was a solicitor's firm, quite a local solicitor's firm, that was run mainly by 2 brothers. Maybe it was the family dynamic, but they weren't terribly nice to me. In the interview I was asked, what is the definition of theft? And for the record, the definition of theft is dishonestly appropriating property belonging to another with the intention of permanently depriving them of it. So I do know it. But I got a bit muddled and I said, misappropriate. It's hardly a big mistake. It barely changes the meaning. And the interviewer actually laughed at me. And I remember going home and saying to my mum, I'm never going back there. I'm never going back there. And then they offered me the job. And like an idiot, instead of going, you've just said I'm never going back there, I actually accepted the job. It was a mistake from the start. They were just really mean. And I now realise with a few extra years experience that maybe it was me who wasn't resilient enough. The trauma that one of the brothers used to use my mug, it had my name on it, and he used to use it anyway because he thought it was funny. I used to be sent off at very short notice to prisons all around the country to see clients who were very dangerous. I only found out afterwards that I was put in a room on my own with this guy that, when he went off to court, was escorted and handcuffed by 2 guards. That's quite unusual, to have 2 guards on a court visit, and I was sent on my own. There was one particular incident where a taxi driver said that he didn't want to let me out of the taxi because he felt that I was in so much danger. I was told that the people that I was working with, you had to watch out for them, and I didn't believe it, and then I really learnt the hard way that I should listen maybe to what other people tell you at times. The thing that really made me realise that I didn't want to be there anymore was that feeling of dread of going back to work on a Monday used to come around at about midday on Saturday. So I'd have a few golden hours on Saturday morning where I was away, and then it would all come back. With a more experienced head, I think I could have dealt with it a lot differently, and I almost wish I could go back and do it all again. But it has made me a stronger and better person for it, and it gave me a real kick to start my own tutoring business, tutoring law and sociology. And to be honest, the reason why I work at this job, which is the best job, is because I work there. So it all worked out for the best in the end.
Big thank you to Sarah for those stories there. That was the first time I'd heard those stories. I've actually worked in the same office as Sarah for 2 years, I think now, 2 or 3 years. And to think the different journeys that we have to sit 3 or 4 feet away from each other in the same office is quite bizarre. So what an experience Sarah seems to have had, and a big thank you to her for doing it. More, hopefully, useful tips on our first jobs and our worst jobs. Learn from everything.